guidelines and the state of Iowa guidelines. However, if the covenants were actually able to be changed, then this can be done. But at this moment in time, one, the lien has to be it has to be released. And two, it also, the covenants need to be changed.
Amended to what?
Amended to where the section that says for subdivision, no lots shall be further subdivided except by the original developer prior to the passing title of an owner. In addition, the owner of any two or more adjacent lots may at his sole cost and expense combine such lots into a single lot. And this is also was confirmed by Doug, is the issue is not so much the merging of lots, it's the splitting of the lots. That's not allowed by the covenants. It is the very rare case where the city has to follow the covenants, otherwise we have to pay those funds back. And this was also confirmed by the state of Iowa staff as well.
So if the hospital changes the covenants and gets rid of that language, then we're wide open to go do that?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, but I don't have the authority to do that.
No, I know that.
And yes, they can do that. And I believe, I don't know if there's provisions to make those changes, but that's not for me to decide.
No, that's for the hospital board.
Correct. So we need actually, they need to update and amend their covenants and get those recorded.
So is it basically, since nobody's following the covenants out there anyhow, obviously, but the hospital board either gets rid of their covenant policy out there altogether or amend them to get rid of that?
Correct.
I didn't think covenants could be put into force until all the lots were sold.
No, that's not what it says here under the federal guidelines.
Well, I want it in writing.
So right here, here's the
Any
CFR.
other information you have in writing.
Okay.
Well, I think we can go to the hospital board and ask them to change the covenants. I think they'd probably be pretty easy to do it.
Well,
They were for this anyhow, right?
Yeah, they voted, I mean, they did vote
I
on
know
it
they told
us we
already,
could do
so, yeah.
But they
I-
may say that, but it's what's recorded here.
Yeah, so let's,
And I was wondering, so, with the grants that we have, after the 5 years are up, but we'd still have to change the covenants anyway, right, to get a
Yes,
subdivision?
either, and if I may see the covenants. Yes, you either have to change the covenants, or there's an expiration date on the covenants of January 1, 2023. I'm sorry, 2030, it's not 23, because that's this year. It says here 2030, January 1, 2030, because they cannot be re-updated, automatically updated, even though there's provision in here that says that, according to Doug, it cannot be automatically updated.
But that is what it says in there.
Correct.
Is that it will be automatically updated.
Right, but that holds no bearing whatsoever. That legally can't be held in the state of Iowa. But as far as the federal money is concerned, we have to abide by these.
so in my simple crayon mind, the path's pretty easy. Get a hold of Ketchen, tell him to go change the covenants at the board, they change them, then we can make this happen.
That's all we,
Yeah, there,
That's the way I'm understanding it.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Correct.
isn't there a loan that has to be paid off?
Yeah, as far as that lien, and the lien has to be taken care of. As it is right now for us to follow all of these. The question is whether it can be done after the lien is released or at this 2030 date. And that's what Doug is really looking into, because he's not seeing a provision to make those kind of amendments, but that's not for us to determine.
But the hospital trustee board could literally get rid of all the covenants, period.
I believe so, they're the ones who wrote them.
Nobody's enforcing them any. This will be the first time any one of them's been enforced, because we have to because of the law, I guess.
Yes.
So, that's the way I understand it, that's the easiest path, is.
Right, there's one other
We need to
thing
get rid of the
in here.
covenants,
And
have your board vote on it.
because I wanna get you the CF, the actual legal CF, well, not this is yours. I wanna get you the actual 24 CFR
92,504, the participating part, because we received that, and I wanna get you that exact section, the CDBG portion. Because we did receive that money for the down payment assistance. Now, it's a 5-year, now the 5 years for the down payment assistance is really determined upon who, it depends on the buy, on when that is released. Remember, we had different, those of you that were here, I know you weren't here, Zach, but we had different council meetings where we actually met for to award through ECOG the down payment system. And as soon as the council voted yes, that's where the 5-year clock started on those individual lots. So for us to accept the program, it would be June, I believe I texted you, Mayor, it was June 25th, 2 years from now, 2025. That's when the clock started for us. But for the individual purchasers of the lot, it was after that date. So it just depends on what that date's going to be afterwards. Not saying it can't be done, it can be done.
Okay.
It's just, while that lien is going on, from what I've read,
Owns that
we
lien.
can't do that.
How long
So there's two stipulations then to get this done, is the language needs to be changed for that covenant or removed
Yes,
for the splitting, but then in order for the lot owners who got the CBDG money to take that land, the time has to expire on the lien? So
Well,
it's a
that
two-step
is
type
it.
situation?
it would be one or the other is the way I look at it, but that's why I'm waiting for Doug to come back with, because of the expiration date of these covenants.
Okay, but either way, we need to get the hospital board.
Right.
the
We need to
hospital
get
board.
it
Yeah,
changed.
the hospital, you gotta get, because that, according to Doug
I
as
don't know
well,
if that would make a difference.
that is what's making it not possible to do it at this moment in time.
Sounds like the big stick up right now is those covenants.
Yeah, so it wouldn't, from what you understand at this time, you don't think if we took it, we changed covenants, we're able to move forward with this, it wouldn't mess up the grants for us at all, would
It
it?
should not mess up your grant, because it would be considered an improvement to your home. And that's what I got from Tracy Achenbach at ECOG, who is the housing leader, housing individual there. And I asked her that specifically at the award breakfast, we went to for Anderson Creek. So because of that, she said, no, it's just because of those covenants and the way that the CDBG, the state, and federal all line up together for this. So when we accept the money, the covenants were recorded, you signed them, clerk signed them at that time. It wasn't that big of a deal because, hey, we got new lots, new building, that sort of thing, but now, not saying I don't believe the city wants to have these grants clawed back. But it comes down to that, that is the one.
Change the covenant, bring it down to you, and we should be good to go.
Yes, then we go through all the proceedings.
We go.
Find out exactly how many of those covenants
What's that?
find out how many covenants the trustee board wants to change.
Yeah.
Specifically this thing about the,
Okay.
whatever you said it was.
The one here, subdivision, is number 2. No lot shall be further subdivided except by the original developer prior to passing title to an owner. In addition, the owner of any 2 or more adjacent lots may at his own and expense combine such lots into a single lot. That's the only case I've ever seen, but
And that's what, but now we got a path anyhow.
Right.
So,
but I will get you that exact section.
But this isn't considered a subdivision, we're not subdividing.
No, but,
Oh, yeah,
but when you split the lot, that's the issue, is,
Gotcha.
it's not even it's still called subdividing when you do split the lots, but that.
when you guys gonna form an HOA out there, start enforcing your covenants.
That's why I'm voting just get rid of the covenants.
Now, you have to take that up with the hospital trustee board,
Right.
which.
I would say there's other things that like to change on here too, so we would.
It had great intentions, I remember when they put it, but it was based on something down in Florida, on an
Yeah.
HOA down there, if I remember right.
Makes
It's not a no. It's not a no.
Right.
It's just,
Step one.
Step one, but we're starting to circle the bases, at least we ain't going back and forth. Foul balling them, so.
So after the 5 years is up, is that another issue, then we can go ahead?
That,
into-
that,
Not really.
well, after the liens are released,
Okay,
it depends on, like I said, it
No.
depends on the actual homeowner, when those individual liens are released, because typically those come to the council, and the council then votes on those individual liens on the second mortgages to release them at the time that the obligation is fulfilled. So the individual has to
We don't know how
live in the home for
But
5
that won't
years.
stop them from getting this land
2 years
marked
left on
unless
that.
they get these covenants changed.
Should not at
So we
all,
won't-
because
Because
that
they can
would-
do improvements to their property.
Correct.
They could go out and
They can
finish
do
every one of those basements, and you didn't improve it to your property.
Correct.
It's no different in my mind.
I didn't think we were told that specifically, but you're saying that is the case.
Yes, that is the case.
You just-
Covenants
You
first.
don't have to wait.
Covenants that,
Necessary.
although,
Just wait, 'cause it's.
although Doug has a different thought right now, so he thinks it has to wait till the expiration, unless there is some way to have these changed.
The expiration of the covenants.
The expiration of the covenant.
I'm gonna bet you won't have covenants once they get done.
Okay. Because that's what it comes down to is, and Doug and I went back and forth on this, today. He was in and out of court, but he said, yeah, the issue is absolutely the covenants. Whether it's the 5 years of that, and his fear after this, even with, after the liens are released, would this be considered a bait and switch? I said, I don't believe it would be. I believe it's an improvement on the property. And that was direction Tracy Achenbach was also saying is an improvement as well for those individual property owners in the starter in this program. But he was looking at ways, is there a way to actually do this before the date? And that's not our realm to determine. Our realm is determined, one, are we complying with everything under the federal grant? And two, is it possible to do?
Sounds like it's possible.
Yes. But unfortunately, it's not today.
Not today.
Till the covenant gets changed.
I mean,
Until what you guys
Or
want to do with the
eliminate.
covenants.
You don't have to have a covenant out there.
Covenants are only good if anybody enforces them.
right,
Right, except in this case.
Except in this case, then we have to follow it.
right. Makes sense.
Otherwise, we don't wanna have to ask the property owners to pay back that down payment.
No, I don't want that.
No.
We
Not
don't
doing
want
that.
that. To give back to the federal government, we don't want that.
Okay.
Those are called clawbacks, and nobody wants to do that.
No.
I think in 15 minutes we gain more ground than we have for a while. So,
Yep, we'll go to the Gay Hospital Board. Go from there, see what
Yeah.
happens.
Is it under the hospital board now? Or still
No,
under the trustees?
no, it's a
It's the farm
trustee,
farm
yeah.
It's still in the farm trust.
Right. right.
They're the ones that gave us permission to do it. Obviously, they didn't think about the covenant either, so.
Yeah,
Farm trust.
I would just get a
Farm
few
trust.
petitions up and down the street if I were you, hey, can we just get rid of these because they're not being enforced anyhow? And I'm quite sure they would
Yep.
see it your way.
Very few covenants are enforced in Iowa, at least in Vinton, Iowa.
So that is
Couldn't
the info I found. If I get your email, Rich, I can send you that, or this I can print it, let me go back, I'll print it out for you here
I'd like to have it,
tonight.
so I can take it to them too, so they can,
Okay.
The
yeah.
only covenant I thought that might be in there, wasn't there one about a minimum square footage on a house? I thought it was.
No, it's about, 2.5 stories in height on the main level, shall have an attached garage, not more than 3 cars unless otherwise granted.
1.5.
Living area in each dwelling house shall contain not less than 1,400 square feet.
So
There's a little bit of a restriction, so.
On lots larger than 44 acres.
yeah, well, that's the one thing, mayor and council do not want to have people have to pay.
No, we don't want to pay them back, and I know they don't want to, so.
Nope.
Yeah, do a little community meeting over there and go through them, find out which ones you wanna keep, which ones you don't.
Right. Sounds good.
Alright, so
Thank
let
you.
me go and print this off for you.
Okay.
Get it?
Who do you need? Me?
You can have them for an hour.
Oh, perfect. You said it.
Yeah, meetings
We're
are.
wrapping, oh, it's over. It's
We're
over.
wrapping up, you're okay.
It's over.
You guys got anything else?
Oh, what can I complain about?
Anything you want?
I had some.
It is.
Troublemaker.
Always pushing.
Yep, certified.
I gotta ask, how come they can't just use it?
Just use it, we can, but if something happens and put fences and stuff, we got that.
I just,
Yeah.
I've always often wondered, it's like, okay.
We don't want that too, it's like, if we just have it for the next 10 years, if we build on it, it's come yours anyway.
Well, I mean, after a while, all this eventually goes away, you know,
Right. Right.
but,
I just covering our butts, you know, in case something happens.
yeah.
But that was the kind of the next step. I don't think we thought it was gonna take this much work to be able to do this.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Never
It's
gonna
government.
Judging?
It's the government.
I got it last year, so
Yeah, you did.
let's try it again, so,
Why not?
yeah, absolutely. See you later, thank you.
Thanks a lot, bud.
You want a plan?